See, every entrepreneur, every businessman, every businesswoman and sales rep that I speak to, they all have the same question. It's a question that I asked myself for years. See, 13 years I've been in this game. 13 years I've been on this journey. I remember the day I went down and I picked up this car. A Ferrari, California. Doesn't mean much to some, and it doesn't make me anything. It simply represents who I've become as a producer. You see, this car is a story. There's a story connected to my grandfather and connected to his legacy. This car meant something to me. It was important to me. It was a target, it was a goal, it was a dream. And see, the question I get asked from every business owner I speak to, every sales rep and entrepreneur, is how do I create wealth and get more customers and clients into my business? Ultimately, what they're asking me is how do I earn like the top 1% and make it rain in my fucking business? See, the funny thing is I don't come from money. I didn't grow up in money, and I certainly didn't know the first thing about making money. Yeah, I was a liberal arts college grad who barely went to classes, and I got out of school and I didn't know the first thing about making money, creating wealth, or getting new clients or customers into my business. Everything I learned, I had to hustle to figure out. From prospecting, to marketing, to advertising, to traffic, to funnels, to pitching, to influence, to persuasions, to team building. I had to hustle to figure it out. And see, what I learned is that there's old tactics that are being used inside the market right now. And everyone's using these old tactics and these old strategies that do not work inside the modern game. See, what I found is that there's two types of noise that you are facing inside the market. And your ability to penetrate that noise will ultimately determine your success as a producer. Now, the two types of noise that I'm talking about is the noise from the market and the noise from the mob. They both suck, but let's start with talking about the mob. See, one of the hardest things about being a businessman, a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, or a sales rep is how alone you feel. Now, you may be wondering, what do you mean by being alone? I'm surrounded by family, I'm surrounded by friends, I'm surrounded by my coworkers, my customers, my clients, as well as universities, colleges, schools, the TV media, seem to spend every waking moment devaluing me and you. For some reason, because we have a desire and ambition to be wealthy, that we're an asshole, that we're a thug, that we're out to take from society. Never mind cracking the code on how to achieve something like this, they say that you and I shouldn't even dream or desire to have something like this. See, we're surrounded by this mob, and this mob is constantly, we are under attack by this mob. You know, I played hockey in college. Still play about 3 days a week. And a couple weeks ago, I was actually at one of my games. And every now and then I drive this car to the game. And so I was at this game and this guy came up to me and said, "You're the hotshot asshole with the Ferrari, aren't you?" And I laughed and he kept going. He said, "Must be real tough inheriting mommy and daddy's money." See, that's funny to me. It's funny to me because I certainly didn't come from money. If he meant by inheriting mommy and daddy's money that my parents fighting and arguing when I was a kid because they were trying to figure out how to pay their bills, the fact that they had to work until their 70s to retire, if he meant that was inheriting mommy and daddy's money, then yeah, he's right. See, what pissed me off about that comment, and you're going to be under siege by people just like this, is it wasn't always like this. I remember when me and Kate first got out of college, both working 3 jobs. She was my girlfriend at the time and she's my wife now. We never fucking saw each other. And I remember the feeling I had as a man when I couldn't even afford to get a wedding ring. I couldn't even afford to get engaged. Never mind pay for a wedding, never mind buy a home. See, that's the problem, is we're alone and we're under attack by people who have no ambition. People that have no desire for something like this. And we're alone. And we're out facing this mob, and this mob's trying to suffocate our ambition because they have none of their own. So that's the one noise you're up against, is the mob. But there's another noise. There's a second noise you're up against, the noise from the market. You see, as you know, you can't go on TV, you can't go on the internet, you can't even open up your phone without being attacked by ads. So there's never been a time in our history as a society where it's more important than ever to separate your message and separate yourself from all the noise. See, there's a lot of people talking, a lot of people selling shit. Seems like everyone's got the best product, everyone's got the best service, everyone's got a YouTube channel, everyone can do a live stream, everyone can put up an ad, and everyone can cold call. See, in the modern day, there's a whole other level of persuasion, influence, sales, and closing that you need to achieve and you need to learn to separate from all of that noise. With the amount of fucking advertising and cold calls and marketing and emails coming at your customers and coming at your target clients, how do you separate yourself as a producer? You know, see, the money and the toys and the things, all they are is a representation of who I've become inside the modern game of marketing and sales. That's all it is. And I have people ask me, how did you do it? How did you create something like this? How did you create that type of wealth? How have you run teams that did $100 million in revenue and at the same time build a multiple seven-figure business? How have you done multiple seven figures in real estate deals? The question is how have I done it? And I tell all of them the same thing. It was my commitment to a modern day strategy and 4 simple principles. See, inside of Rainmaker Wealth, there are men and women just like you who are playing a bigger game of wealth, abundance, and growth. And that game goes far beyond just creation. Whether you're trying to make your first 6 figures, or go from 6 figures to multiple 6, or go from there to 7 or 8, on the other side of this page, there is a network and an association of people who are trying to do big things just like you. And inside that association, you'll no longer feel alone. But entrance into that association, entrance into that network starts with your ability to create and your ability to produce. See, inside of Rainmaker Wealth, you're gonna learn how to create sales on demand and make it rain inside your fucking business. But see, I have no magic traffic strategy for you. I have no magic closing question for you. And I have no magic pills for you. I have simple principles and a modern day strategy that works inside of today's game that will set you free and put you on your way. But it's not for everyone. It's for businessmen and women who are alone and want way more, just like you and me. See, on the other side of this page, I'm going to take you on a journey. It's short, concise, and to the point. I'm going to take you inside of Rainmaker Wealth. I'm going to share with you the modern day strategy that works in today's game and how these 4 principles of connect, capture, convert, and close apply to you inside of your business so you can penetrate the noise and produce at a high level inside your business. See, it took me 12 years to figure this out, and had I known these 12 years ago, it wouldn't have taken me this long to get here. See, this is an invitation, not an obligation. But if this message has resonated with you so far, I invite you to join us on the other side. Enter in your information, click the button on this page, and I'll see you on the other side.